Okay, so I will be presenting about application of social marketing process. First of all, the purpose of this campaign in Bukit Senggeh is for us to fulfill the MKT622 requirements and also to do the social responsibility towards Bukit Senggeh community. This program also done in order to expose M1BA2405A students towards application of principles and techniques traditional marketing used among Bukit Senggeh entrepreneurs. We also done this campaign in order to identify the issues that have been faced by the entrepreneurs and also to give them a better solution for their issue. The issue that we have found during this campaign is their bookkeeping issue, manpower issue, and also social media issue. So we will be focusing on improving their bookkeeping and giving the solution for their lack of manpower issue and also social media. Okay, so we have conducted a situation analysis based on the recorded sound from the interview before, since we doesn't have any meeting with the owner itself. So we have found that their strength is they use their own receipts and traditional methods in producing dodol. They also become the only entrepreneurs that produce dodol at Bukit Senggeh, and their dodol's quality have been approved by their own customer and they have their own loyal customers. So their weaknesses is they do not easily trust people to work together, and they are blessed to produce dodol and their equipment need to be upgraded. So their opportunities is they can ask Rista for the machine to make dodol. The brand Manga have chances to get more recognized and they get more orders during festive season, especially Hari Raya. But their tricks is the lack of online interaction with customers and they does not have any license. Select your priority audience. So Mak Sadia, Binti Saleh, or can be called as Manga, have her own business which called Dodol Manga, and her business has been started around 5 to 6 years ago. So she first started making dodol due to her family and friends, but then her family and friends have encouraged her to start this business, and that's the reason why this business has started. So a lot of customers like her dodol since it have a unique taste, like savory and creamy with the texture of dodol like jam, which can be spread into bread. Okay, so she has her own packaging which have her logo and also her brand name, and she had also asked Rista about the application, and Rista has stated that the application can be done, but she needs to go to that place by herself, but she cannot go since she has health issue, and her son also cannot go since he need to study. Okay, so we need to set behavior objective and target goals for Manga to see, and we will let Manga be aware that she need to make changes, especially her book log in the manpower and also her social media. And with the book log, we will let her know that there are other options that is more effective, which is Ledger, and we will also teach her on how to use Ledger to keep up with her orders and also sales. For the manpower, we will convince her to accept unchecked needs students as her co-workers and teach them with the saying that her receipt will be acknowledged in making dodol in order for the knowledge to be spread towards young people to ensure that it is not gone just like this. And for her social media, which is her Facebook, before this, it is usually done and monitored by herself or her son. But we can convince her to learn about how to use social media from the interns, and maybe she can let the interns to update her page on Facebook, and she can monitor the update. Okay, then we will identify the barriers, benefits, motivators, the competition, and also influential other. For Makna, it is hard to change her way, even after her son gives her advice, since for her it is best to do what she good at. And she also justified that the traditional method is the best. And she doesn't really believe in young people nowadays, since there are many bad perspective about them. And we can start it by convincing her to believe in young people and to help her seeing that there are young people that is responsible and can help her in her work. And she also might find someone that is interested in furthering dodol business in the future, but she doesn't really have much faith in young people, since she has seen some young people that are irresponsible nowadays. And she also thinks that the only way to make her dodol is by using her traditional way, which is good, but we need to change a bit on how she thinks. And she also can make her work become much easier if she tried some modern method in making dodol, in case her health get worse in the future. If her health get worse, this business might be hard to go further in the future. So she also can learn how to operate a Facebook page in an interesting way to attract more customers, since online platforms are popular nowadays and can get her customers to notice more about. We also need to create the desired position. So we want the entrepreneurs to believe that change is needed in order to improve their business, and the chances that take place will not have any negative impact on their business. So if they don't try to change, the business may not be manageable or not get what their goal want in the future. So for Makna, in order to create the desired position, she needs to understand that the target audience and so on. And it also needed in order to make Makna have her own plan on how to approach her customer, so it will be remembered by her customer. And Makna also need to maintain the traditional way of making dodol to make it more special to her loyal customer, and for her loyal customer able to enjoy the taste of dodol, which make traditionally compared to the use of machines. And maybe Makna can also produce a tagline based on the dodol that can make people mention the tagline and understand it easily, and which will remind.
Next, social marketing process is develop the strategic marketing intervention make which is a product, price, place and promotion. First, I will explain the product. Puan Saida business, or known as Makna, is selling dodol. The dodol sold are often ordered by Bukit Senggeh friends and relatives of Makna. The dodol that Makna make is a traditional recipe, and also the way to prepare it without using a machine. Dodol to be sold by Makna is placed in a container with its own logo. So when people buy a dodol, they will keep the container and at the same time be able to get the detail that are in the logo. Second is price. The price of dodol. Makna is not too expensive and just follow the latest market. The price of dodol for a kilo is only 13 ringgit, and for people who usually buy it, it only costs 15 ringgit per 500 gram. For the cost of material, it around 15 ringgit only. Purchase rice flour, coconut milk, and another material that will using the produce product. Third is place. The dodol that Makna produce is only in the backyard, which has a small space to process the dodol until it is cooked. But before this, Makna also mentioned that the place of dodol to produce is unsatisfactory for them to do. For the place to store the hardware and firewood is no need for a cupboard because making dodol only need the comfort place. For the customer who come to buy dodol, Makna has a spacious and comfortable space to deal with outsiders. Last is a promotion. The way they promote dodol is only by word of mouth, WOM. So it is a bit less to promote dodol because most of the dodol are sold by their own friend and relative, Makna, compared to promote in social media, which is Facebook, Instagram, and others. By using social media, Makna business of dodol can more spending all around. Next, social marketing process is develop the strategic marketing intervention make which is a product, price, place, and promotion. First, I will explain the product. One-sided business, or known as Makna, is selling dodol. The dodol sold are often ordered by Bukit Senggeh friends and relatives of Makna. The dodol that Makna make is a traditional recipe and also the way to prepare it without using a machine. Dodol to be sold by Makna is placed in a container with its own logo. So when people buy a dodol, they will keep the container and at the same time be able to get the detail that are in the logo. Second is price. The price of dodol. Makna is not too expensive and just follow the latest market. The price of dodol for a kilo is only 13 ringgit, and for people who usually buy it, it only costs 15 ringgit per 500 gram. For the cost of material, it around 15 ringgit only. Purchase rice flour, coconut milk, and another material that will using the produce product. Third is place. The dodol that Makna produce is only in the backyard, which has a small space to process the dodol until it is cooked. But before this, Makna also mentioned that the place of dodol to produce is unsatisfactory for them to do. For the place to store the hardware and firewood is no need for a cupboard because making dodol only need the comfort place. For the customer who come to buy dodol, Makna has a spacious and comfortable space to deal with outsiders. Last is a promotion. The way they promote dodol is only by word of mouth, WOM. So it is a bit less to promote dodol because most of the dodol are sold by their own friend and relative, Makna, compared to promote in social media, which is Facebook, Instagram, and others. By using social media, Makna business of dodol can more spending all around. Next, marketing process is establish budget and find funding. The program is under UiTM Melaka and all the funds is claimed from UiTM. All the activities that relate with UiTM can be required for fund. The budget is used for students who attend the social media and campaign with the entrepreneur from Bukit Senggeh. And the last marketing process is create an implementation plan. Before Mak Ngah implement the implement plan, Mak Ngah need to ensure that there are sufficient raw materials and other items such as firewood, stove and so on are available and sufficient to ensure that everything runs smoothly. So the implementation plan for Mak Ngah to make sure Dodo is with a goal to achieve.
There are a few analyses of the situational or current issues that leads to social marketing solutions. Strengths are the internal factors and positive attributes to the company or organization. Dodo Mak Ngah has been established around 5 years in the industry and has been known around the village, which is at Kampung Bukit Senggeh. The strength in this organization is when they have their own loyal customer that always repeat on purchasing the product. They always repeat on purchasing the product because the product that Mak Ngah produce is different from the other sellers. Second strength in Dodo Mak Ngah is when she is still using traditional method on producing the product. Nevertheless, to maintain the traditional taste of Dodo itself, Mak Ngah will always want to use traditional method on producing. Third strength, Dodo Mak Ngah can be kept within 2 weeks or 3 weeks in one container. Unlike the others, it might take in short time of periods to preserve the product because they use preservation product on it. Weaknesses is one of negative factor that will detract from the strength. Human resources is one of the weaknesses for Dodo Mak Ngah, which is lack number of employees or volunteers in making a dodo. Mak Ngah only has 4 workers, including herself, in the process of making the dodo. The workers are from Mak Ngah's family members itself, which is her husband and another 2 sons. Second is financial resources that lack in Dodo Mak Ngah businesses. Mak Ngah only has small amounts of money to expand her business because she only has her own money in managing the business. Due to the reason, the advertisement of her product is limited to only a few things that she can use, which is Mak Ngah are using Facebook and status WhatsApp in keeping up to date to her about her business. Third weakness for Dodo Mak Ngah is physical resources. Mak Ngah stated that she only used 1 cutter in producing her dodo, and the places of her cutter is not that big to make it able for her to hire another workers. Last but not least, even after 5 years in producing the product, Dodo Mak Ngah is still not being registered under Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia (SSM). Thus, if something bad happen in future, Dodo Mak Ngah cannot bring the cases into legal enforcement. Dodo Mak Ngah has the opportunity, which is she sell her product in lower price to attract people buy her product. She was selling her product 50 ringgit for smaller container and 30 ringgit for larger container, and it was lower price rather than her competitors that selling 38 ringgit for one larger container. Second opportunities that Mak Ngah has is during a festive season, the number of orders will be rising because more people are going back to their hometowns and wanted to eat traditional food. During Hari Raya Aidilfitri this year, Mak Ngah stated that she need to cook the dishes in 4 days straight because the number of orders is rising. Other than that, the opportunities that Dodo Mak Ngah can gain is she has word of mouth method of promotion her product without she realize it. The only promotion platform that she uses is Facebook and status WhatsApp, but she managed to gain order in large quantity because her customer is like to tell others about a product. The product that she produces is good condition. Thus, more people want to spread the product to others. One of the threats that Dodo Mak Ngah faces is when the competitors of her product, which is Dapur Kayu that sell the same product as she are, producing this product using machine. Due to the reason, Dapur Kayu can constantly distribute their dodo to market because they can produce in large amounts of quantity to distribute it every day. Secondly, like has been stated before, Dodo Mak Ngah has a financial problem that will affect her business. Due to that, during festive season, some of the ingredient that needs to be used for making dodo is getting higher. Due to that reason, Mak Ngah revenue will get higher. Third trait for the Mak Ngah is when there is no donation or loans, even she has done this business during 5 years. When we are having interview season with her, she said that she wanted to take loans from Malaysian company that helps small business, but the requirement to be acceptable for that loans, she needs to attend some motivation season for small businesses. Hence, when she's at the late of her age, she cannot go to any event because she easily will feel tired. Finally, Mak Ngah feel like the other traits for her business is the weather itself. This is because she is having a small places to put a cutter, and that place will not be able to let her finish up her cooking when it's raining.
Practical and realistic solution to social marketing issues. First is bookkeeping. First, the entrepreneur will be introduced with what is bookkeeping and how it is important for them. Bookkeeping is the act of daily recording your company financial transaction into structured account. Bookkeeping will help her to track the cash flow in her business and also can calculate the profit she receives for every order she complete. This bookkeeping also will help Mak Ngah to create budget accurately. It is straightforward to review the financial resource and expenditure when the income and spending are organized appropriately. The profit of business can be monitored and be used to upgrade tools and equipment for Mak Ngah. As for Mak Ngah now, she only recording number of her order she received but not all of transaction she did for the business and bookkeeping. Bookkeeping will help her to analyze her business profit because bookkeeping is a crucial step in an accounting process. Second, register SSM. Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia, or as known as SSM, is a statutory body formed under an Act of Parliament that regulates corporate and business affairs in Malaysia. SSM primary function is to act as an agency for the incorporation of business and registration of this enterprise, and also it is also for dissemination of business and company information. The entrepreneur will have to register SSM by SSM itself on the day of event. Mak Ngah businesses still not registered in the SSM, and Mak Ngah cannot use all the advantage that can be obtained when registered with SSM. During the stage of pandemic COVID-19, people who register with SSM get their own aid money for their business to sustain during the pandemic. Mak Ngah businesses also can be easily accessed for people who want to find information about Dodol Mak Ngah when Mak Ngah register with the SSM. Next is manpower. Manpower or human resource is the workforce in an organization. For a business to fulfill the demand of their product, manpower is important to make it happen. Mak Ngah businesses is lack of manpower. Mak Ngah cannot be successful without the help of worker. The problem is Mak Ngah cannot trust other people to help her. This become a problem for her to fulfill the demand from customer. Plus, her condition that do not allow her to do hard work. She need to get rid of the type of thinking because in businesses, the worker can make the job easier so that the businesses can successfully expand. Lastly, social media. Social media is used by people to connect and communicate with their friends, family, and other communities. Social media applications are used by businesses to track consumer complaints as well as market and promote their product. Social media platform is a place for people to expand their businesses. Mak Ngah should use the advantage of social media to attract more customer and generate more income. Social media has no limit where it can go, and it is the best used platform in the marketing nowadays. If Mak Ngah cannot handle the social media, she can hire someone to monitor and update the social media at least 2 times a week. The feed of social media also must be interesting so that people can attract to view the social media. Social media is a must for Mak Ngah in order for people to recognize Mak Ngah brand. It is the best marketing tools nowadays among marketers to promote their product and brand.
There are a few analyses of the situational or current issues that leads to social marketing solutions.
Hi, I'm Asmida. Now we proceed with innovative elements. There's a few key of elements that can be listed, which is collaboration, ideation, implementation, and value creation. Dodol Mak Ngah have their own strength in this food sector, and the opportunity for them to improve a few things in their management is so big. As a local supplier of dodol, Mak Ngah gets a real and loyal customer, also known as regular customer, which is the same customer will come again and again like seasonal, especially in Hari Raya, the sales will increase. To get a better experience, the innovation element should be applied in this operation of business. Dodol Mak Ngah in category of small business. They need to expand their business by building collaborations with the youngers or teenagers in Bukit Senggeh. As iteration that have over there, Senik, who is manager in Bukit Senggeh, who responsible to settle everything that related with tourists, either local or foreigner, to climb the mountain in Bukit Senggeh. As we can see, the teenagers in Bukit Senggeh very active to involve themselves in society. With the good collaboration with the community, Mak Ngah will get the convenience to manage the operation of their business, especially in terms of technology, to set up the social media account. The chance or opportunity that teenagers over there who practical or training after study can help to expand advertising and set up the social media account that Mak Ngah have, such as Facebook and Instagram. The simple as well, they just only need to update the information and news and update about the soft or hard sales as well. Next is about the ideation. The suggestion or recommendation especially focus on Mak Ngah transaction logbook. The right step is easy for them to analyze every one of the business arrangement. Currently, Mak Ngah using the logbook, which is manually in total. For some forgotten time, Mak Ngah forget to update the logbook and make a bit misinformation in that particular logbook. The logbook should be able to be as a good reference for Mak Ngah, but then the strategies are quite lost to take note all the transaction carefully. So the ideation is Mak Ngah should have the good systematic notes transaction logbook to record the order and date accurately. Now we move to the implementation in Dodol Mak Ngah business, which is talking about the marketing strategy as well. To be as a professional, Mak Ngah should do and don't to improve certain part in their business. The promotion through social media and word of mouth is currently effective for Mak Ngah, but not truly efficient. Since Mak Ngah just focus and target the nearer market and not planning to going international, even they have a chance to penetrate the market of Dodol, especially at the neighbor countries such as Indonesia and Singapore. The advances in technology include the advanced in logistics, which is part of business transition to delivery safely for makna dodol. Lastly, we focus on value creation of dodol makna on how to be more profitable in market of food industry. As a traditional food, makna have many competitors, which is more sustained and good advertising to reach the same target market as makna. But makna have their own amazing and great process to give the best result to serve people perfectly about the dodol. Makna effort to make people aware about the value is effective, which is it come from the created by the process and the test as good as well. That's all from me. Thank you. Now we move to the next presenter.